Jaws came out 49 years ago today. Scared the bejesus out of us.
Well,
before the movie, people didn't have an irrational fear of a shark's going to eat me. Came out in 1975. It's a classic. So based on that, movies or shows that totally changed the way you think, effed you up, scared you, gave you an irrational fear. And, Rich, a show that I don't even watch, but I know the reference, has to do with a coffee pot. Am I right?
Oh, that's, no, actually not a coffee pot at all, but I know where you were going.
Crock pot.
A crock pot.
That's what I meant.
This Is Us, which is a show I miss very much. That was a drama that made me cry every week.
I watched the Greek version, This Is Gus. It was way better. In This Is Gus, it was a coffee pot.
Yeah, This Is Gus.
On This Is Us, it was a crock pot.
Yeah, no, Jack, Milo Ventimiglia, spoiler, he dies, as you know, on the show, but it was because they left a crock pot, a faulty crock pot, plugged in.
Now, I've never seen the show, and I could give a diddly squat about it, right? I don't need a show to make me cry.
Dude, real life makes you cry.
My point is, I know that because of that show, a lot of people double, second, triple guess that I unplugged the crock pot, and they can't rest the entire day wondering if that's going to set their house on fire.
I do remember that when that episode aired, because that show was big for NBC, when that Jack dies crock pot episode was on, that next month, there was an uptick in people buying new crock pots thinking, oh my God, what if I have an old faulty one? So listen, movies and TV affect us a la Jaws on this date 49 years ago. Just the theme alone got you all freaked out. I brought up one before we went to commercial, which I think is definitely one. If you watch all those silly yet fun Final Destination movies, you do see a truck with lumber on it, a bunch of logs.
No doubt.
You are not riding behind that.
No doubt.
Based on the second one.
Or some vato with like a giant couch and all his furniture strapped in with a shoelace. I'm not driving behind that guy because I saw the movie. Not happening.
Oh, when the girl got stuck in the tanning bed.
Oh,
Ever since.
Oh, yeah.
If I see one of the lay down tanning salon beds, I'm like, I don't know who can be comfortable laying in there.
Get trapped. Burned to death.
Can't do it.
I got another one that I don't know. I don't know what this is from because I feel like there's multiple answers. But every time I go to my car late at night, I always look underneath my car because there was some movie where someone got their Achilles like sliced, and I'm like, ah!
I have seen that.
Well, is it Saw?
Is it Saw?
Or it might have been
Saw, yeah.
But I feel like it was also there was a gangster
Danny
movie.
Glover get his Achilles sliced?
Ah! But I just remember that like
there's also in Casino.
The end of
the film where
that's it.
Yep.
Casino and Saw, the idea that someone's hiding underneath your car, and like that tender back, you're right there of your ankle, that Achilles.
It's called Achilles. Your Achilles.
Man, that makes me a little scared.
I was thinking of one movie that scared every man who saw it, even us as kids. Fatal Attraction.
That one is just more like you feel like, oh my gosh, this could happen at home, right? Like it's
What, with the bunny cooking?
Yeah, just because it wasn't like a creature that doesn't exist. Like, you know, because for me, Jeepers Creepers scared me where I thought something was going to land on my car any single time I'm driving down the highway alone. You know what I mean? Or like World War Z, like those zombies. I was like, if those zombies are the ones that take over, we're done. We could deal with Walking Dead zombies, not World War Z zombies.
Those got like they got Tyreek Hill speed.
Right.
Exactly. Walking Dead zombies are like Tom Brady in the pocket.
Right. But I feel like Fatal Attraction, it wasn't something that's not real.
You guys all being radio masters and loving audio, you can relate to this and appreciate it because we are in the business of sound. It was not the costumes at all. And Covino, you could back me up on this. There were these things called reruns back in the day. Mm-hmm. As little kids in the early 80s, they played reruns of Land of the Lost.
I love that show, yeah.
Oh, and when the dad and his two kids would go into the Sleestack cave, the sounds, Sam has it, I think, the sound scared the crap out of me when they were coming. They like hissed.
Anytime Danny hears a cicada, he starts freaking out.
John Cicada?
Shouts out to Sid and Marty Krofft. When they weren't being chased by really bad graphics of dinosaurs, these Sleestak costumes, when you see them now, they are hilarious. Like, they are such bad costumes, but as a little kid, hearing that noise and seeing them chase the family, you were scared to death.
I was so into that show when I was little. Irrational Fears. Hit us up. We got more answers, but I don't want to take away yours. 877-99 on Fox. Based on Jaws, again, 49 years ago today.
Meg in Montana. What's up? You're on with Covino and Rich. Hey, Meg.
Hey, guys.
What's up?
You hit the nail on the head with the Final Destination 2. I was 13, having a sleepover with a gal pal. We watched that movie late at night. The power went out, which did not help. So we ended up staying up all night, watched the whole thing twice since we got interrupted. The next morning, her parents came to pick us up, and we were going to go for a nice boat ride on the lake. Towing the boat in the car with her family, there was a truck in front of us. It did not have logs on it, but it was like a big water truck. We could see something sloshing around in this big bin. All of a sudden, this guy goes to turn right way too fast. The truck flips over right in front of us, rolls into the ditch. Her dad had to slam on the brakes, fishtailed the boat. Us poor girls in the back seat were screaming like banshees.
Yeah, that's scary.
We're so traumatized. Luckily, everyone was okay. It turned out it was just water in the truck, nothing flammable, no explosions.
But still.
But my heart's beating just retelling the story. That
Now,
was the most scary.
Great story. Thank you.
Back in the 80s and 90s, my goodness, would I mess with my little brother because he had a My Buddy doll, and when Child's Play came out, I tried to convince my little brother that his My Buddy doll would come to life.
Just having that doll would in the house would scare me because of the movie, probably. My sister had that doll.
I had that doll.
Spot still has it.
He was my best friend.
Explains a lot.
Kaylin in South Dakota. What's up, Kaylin?
So you mentioned it, you steal my answer. But yeah, Child's Play, when I was about 10 years old, my buddies were a couple years older than I am, grew up in a small town in South Dakota. Watched Child's Play. They didn't even have to convince me. I was sure that my Diamond Dallas Page stuff
Your wrestling buddy.
was going to end up coming up and murdering me because you watch Diamond Dallas Page murder people in the ring every week. You were determined that the doll was going to do it to you.
I got two. Thank you, man. I'm sorry Rich stole your answer. What a selfish guy he is. Am I right?
I didn't know what his answer was.
Guy waited on hold just to say that, and you had to butt in there and ruin his answer.
Okay, sorry.
I got one's kind of sports related because it is Fox Sports Radio. It could be anything you saw. You never want to be the GOAT, like with the old school GOAT, the guy who ruins the game.
Yeah.
You know, based on some movies you may have seen. But pre-GPS, any wrong turn I made, I thought, man, I could end up in some dangerous situations, especially out here in L.A. You make one wrong turn, you could be like in the worst neighborhood. Same thing with on the East Coast. And after seeing the movie Judgment Night, which maybe most people haven't seen, but I recommend it. Like they're having a sweet dude's night out, and then they get lost, and all hell ensues, right? We're talking murder and death, and because they end up in the worst part of town, and they get involved where they shouldn't be involved. So anytime I was lost somewhere, and this is back in the day, again, before GPS, I'm like, oh no, I'm going to die.
This is where it goes down.
Yeah, this is where it goes. And sports related, just based on what I saw Steve Bartman go through, anytime a foul ball comes into the vicinity of where I am, I just know instinctively to back off because I don't ever want to be perceived as the guy like that, the doofus who ruined it.
I wish that would happen to you.
No, I've learned, just based on the fear of watching this guy's life get ruined.
Listen, it's all because this is the anniversary of Jaws, which a lot of people argue has had the most psychological effect on human fear than any other movie because, again, sharks were not considered scary to the general public until Jaws, but I'll tell you what, we're always considered scary, at least
Aren't you scared of Sharknadoes now, too, I heard?
I look up in the sky every day hoping there's not one. Spot, I know that you were affected as a young boy by arachnophobia.
Oh,
Is that true?
No, not that I was affected. I am unable to watch that movie.
Wow,
I
really?
love that movie. I'm unable.
It's a rough one.
Irrational fears a la Jaws.
Spider in the helmet.
Oh, it's so creepy.
Stop it.
All right, let's say hi to
Spider in the shoe.
Jennifer. Jennifer in Michigan. Hi, Jen.
Stop it.
Good
evening to you guys.
Hey.
I have to tell you, when I was 13, I spent the night at a friend's house. Her and her grandmother didn't ask my mom if they could take me to see Pet Sematary 2.
You sound scared now,
This was
man.
in 92. I had nightmares for 2 weeks.
Did you assume she had like a dying sister in the other bedroom? Because that movie will freak you out.
You know what scared me as a kid?
Zelda? Was that her name?
Yeah.
You know what
yeah.
scared me? Because I know it wasn't real. Even as a kid, I knew it wasn't real. But did anyone else feel like the CGI of Large Marge and Pee-wee's Big Adventure? Did that
Oh,
scare
it
you?
scared me to never, get in a car with a stranger. That's
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
thought they were Large Marge.
I've seen that part of the movie.
Let's go to
Sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
Ron in Reno. Hey, Ron.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, bud?
I remember back in 1980 when the movie came out. I saw it in the theater. Was The Shining.
Ooh, yeah.
And that one took me for a loop. I was by myself, and I was 15 years old. So that one had a remarkable effect on me. That's for sure.
Thank you, man. You reminded me of something else. This is true. I was in Ojai, California with my ex. So it was my previous life, right? I went to Ojai, and I stayed at this Airbnb, or just like a house rental at the time. I don't even know if it was an Airbnb. I don't know if that was around.
Did you guys see the famous pink sunset?
No, dude, but I stayed at this place in the middle of nowhere, right? And I just felt so helpless and unsafe because I was really in the middle of nowhere. It's just you and the stars, and I started hearing all these crazy noises, and I had this irrational fear take over me just based on the movie The Strangers. Remember The Strangers? And they come knocking on the door at night, and I'm like, wait, I'm going to be
Such
the
a good
guy
movie.
to fight off. That's why I don't watch scary movies anymore.
I love scary,
haven't-
that's
I think
why.
that's the last scary movie I watched.
so good.
So whatever year that came out, it was the last one. Because I was at this place, and I felt like such a weenie. I was so scared. My ex was scared. We left that place in the middle of the night because of the irrational fear of that movie. True story.
Was that the one during the preview? It had the record play like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, with Liv Tyler.
Yeah. That's it. By the way, highly recommend that movie.
If you haven't seen it,
If
it's
you haven't
so
seen
good.
it. But it was so good. I haven't watched a scary movie since. That's how long it's been.
yeah, I'm trying to think of some good ones. But hey, the phones are all lit. So let's say rapid fire, shall we? Jimmy in Texas. What's up, Jimmy?
Yo, what's up, hermanos?
Orale.
What's up, buddy?
Hey guys, just since I know y'all like to put a bow on things, I just gotta say the mom in this show you was such a floozy that I didn't realize it until I watched the movie again as an older perspective.
What
you know,
movie?
but Cujo.
Oh,
Cujo.
Cujo.
Yeah,
I remember
I didn't realize how
Cujo.
much of a floozy the mom was, but yeah. After that, I made sure my dogs never chased rabbits and any other animal outside. I was like, no, you're gonna get rabies.
I feel like Cujo and the Blob were like my mom's fears. Like, I feel like things you remember your parents were scared of, like the Blob, Cujo.
Isn't that why she was so scared that your brother was getting fat?
Yeah,
She didn't want him to turn into the Blob.
the Blob. Let's say hi to Jay in Missouri.
How you doing? Hey, Covino, you follow me everywhere I go.
I do.
I listen to you every day on drive time, and then Saturday mornings I turn around. There you are on Ozzy's Boneyard.
I'm like dog duty. I'm everywhere, man. And don't step on
I
me.
know. It's like I'm older than you guys, and my freaked out movies usually don't freak me out because they're movies and they're make believe. But I was 8 years old the summer of the Manson murders, and then they had a TV movie of the week on Helter Skelter based on Bugliosi's book, and I was about 14 years old, and I was freaked out because the Manson's coming in the middle of the night. And so, yeah. Anyway, I just want to say, keep it going. We love you on Aussie. And, yeah, my movie that freaked me out was Helter Skelter.
Jay, that was a great one and inspired another irrational fear for me as a kid. I grew up in the 80s, right? And that's the decade of kidnappings, a la Adam Walsh style, So you thought that every van that pulled up in your neighborhood was going to kidnap you. And I lived in that fear of, I'm going to get kidnapped. We all lived in the fear of a white van going to take us, people or strangers giving us candy, all irrational fears, which could have been reality. But, we lived in that fear because of the stuff we saw on news and after-school movies and things like that. So based on Jaws, guys, the irrational fears based on movies and shows you saw growing up.
Let's say hi to Jay in Kentucky. What's up, Jay?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
We're good.
So this one's particularly scary because you know that these live in your house. Arachnophobia.
Yeah, we mentioned that. Spot particularly scared of spiders.
I don't know where that came from. It just developed.
I mean, that was a creepy movie.
You know
I
what?
mean, that's a one-time watch.
Yeah,
I don't think
when
anyone
you're
watched that
at an
multiple times.
Airbnb,
I've watched it multiple times.
When you're at an Airbnb or a place you're not really that familiar with, doesn't it cross your mind when you're laying there that there could be cameras watching you based on things you've seen on TV or weird movies?
I mean, I check every closet and under the bed, and
I do.
The shower. I always pull back the shower curtain.
I swear,
There's a shower.
every fire alarm or every blinking light, I'm like, they're taping us. Some creeps.
I put out a show for him.
Yeah.
Covino, you made me think of older movies, and it scared the crap out of me when I was a little kid. You claim it's one of the best movies of all time when we did our movie draft, Wizard of Oz.
Oh, it is.
That scared kids all across the
scared
world.
of flying monkeys?
No, the Wicked Witch of the the Wicked Witch was creepy.
Oh, the worst. She was super scary, for sure.
Just her laugh.
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
Danny scared come Halloween time.
You want to say hi to Rob and wrap it up? Or did we
Wrap
just
it.
talk to Rob? Oh, let's talk to Rob. Rob in Texas. Hey, bud.
Hey, what's up? Scariest movie I ever saw as a kid was in the 80s, the day after when they had made-for-TV Nuclear Holocaust on TV. I can't believe my parents let me watch it.
Dude, anytime you're driving through a cornfield or any desolate area, you're thinking Children of the Corn. Rich, when you and I were on a road trip and we were lost, remember we were lost?
Oh, I know.
Somewhere in the
I
middle of
know
nowhere?
where we were actually.
We felt so scared, and it's all irrational fears based on movies we saw. There wasn't a person in sight.
Irrational-
We swore some freak with a chainsaw was going to come.
All right, so
and
let me
kill
ask that with Sam then, because he is from the home of corn. So, Danny G, I'm curious, you, Monsi, this is an interesting thought. So, we're driving on a Covino and Rich road trip. We love doing these live broadcasts. In fact, we're going to be doing more with Graduate Hotel. But back in the Sirius XM days, we would do 5 cities in 5 days. We started in Dallas one year and ended up in Minneapolis, stopping in cities along the way. I remember Spot, we were like, oh, wow, St. Olaf, Minnesota, which is the home of
St. Olaf College.
No.
What?
Golden Girls.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, but also St. Olaf College.
Rosen Island.
Most people think Rose from the Golden Girls.
I didn't. I had no idea.
So we're like, oh, on the way, we're going through these cornfields that it is creepy, like Covino said, out of a movie. We had taken along our associate producer, this young dude, Jake, and he was a kid, didn't have much money. We were like, we started saying, I'll throw in 100, you throw in 100. We had hundreds of dollars. Like, dude, get out of the car, run 20 feet into the cornfield, and we're going to turn the lights in the car out. And he's like, no. We're talking about a kid that was broke. And we're like, all right, dude, $1,000. And he's like, no.
Because
come on.
irrational fear kept him in
Would
that
you
car,
do it? I
man.
would say if we were run into the cornfield, we're going to turn the car lights out, pitch dark, run in the cornfield for 30 seconds.
Absolutely. I have no fear of corn, but you can get lost in cornfields. You have to if it's overcast, you can't see where the sun is. You don't know where you came from, you can definitely get lost.
That's
but I'm not
scary.
afraid of running into the corn.
Monty,
I've done that before.
Dark, desolate road, cornfields everywhere. We turn the car lights off and say, Monty, go run in the cornfield 30 seconds. We'll give you $1,000.
I think I could do it. I'm not as
For $1,000?
scared. Yeah, for $1,000, I think I could do it.
How about this?
I may
as
be
far
crying as I'm doing it, but
Yeah,
I'll do
exactly.
it.
Why did I do
Yeah, I
this?
need you guys so much.
I think it's an irrational fear just based on what experts tell me. But anytime I'm feeling turbulence, I feel like
I
feel like
you.
Twilight Zone the movie.
Uh-huh.
Something on the wing.
Exactly. I'm like, there's an alien guy tearing out
Homelander's
the
about
wires.
to take us down.
No, you ever see Twilight Zone or Twilight Zone the movie, the one with
Yeah.
William Shatner and the remake? Like, I
John
swear
Lithgow.
there's a monster on the wing, and that's why we're all gonna die on this plane. This is horrible. So. Anyway, that's our story, guys. You could add to the conversation at Covino and Rich.